So I grew up with this idea that you could embrace scripture in your life or embrace science, and that these two were at war with each other.
Science and theology are not two entirely separate entities. They mutually benefit each other and help as far as understanding who God is.
You can go out into the world and you can look at science and you can look at what the world tells us about God and not be afraid of what you're going to find.
I'm not compromising either science or scripture in any way. This opens doors for conversations that I haven't been able to open before.
Who considers God's works? It's the scientist. So that's what I wanted to do, to bring the scientist and the church into this conversation.
Everybody always said, why are you studying biology and why are you studying religion? What do they have to do with each other? And they did seem contradictory because people keep telling you these things don't have anything to do with each other. If I go to a church that says evolution is wrong or bad, it's like putting cold water on my head. I just lose interest.
I grew up in a religious community that was sort of anti-science, and when I came to Berkeley Covenant, I found that there was much more of an open atmosphere here as to various points of view.
I was very attracted to coming to this church. Everyone in the congregation had a very high view of science, and that they didn't want to minimize what science had to say or what scripture had to say. And it was really huge for me to come to a congregation that embraced both.
I grew up in a scientific family. I embraced faith later in life, but found a great deal of struggle. Bad scientific teaching by the church almost destroyed my faith, and of seeing science and theology really be complementary rebuilt my faith in tremendous ways.
I wanted to work with Pastor Andrew and to work with others in the congregation to see if we can make this conversation happen in our own church and to see what will happen when we do this.
When Josh came to Berkeley Covenant, I found someone who could articulate something that was compatible with my views as well as the views of others relating to the Christian faith. And scientifically, he was able to correlate all these different points of view and help me to see what I had been feeling for many years was being validated.
I felt like I could finally be myself and talk about evolution or talk about periodic tables or talk about light years or billions of years, just whatever I want, things that I love without kind of hiding it or people getting suspicious of you for talking about such things.
È stato veramente così, è stato così. Ho visto su internet l'informazione, il titolo era molto interessante, ho cliccato e la lecture era interessante, stimolante, ben fatta, molto rigorosa da un punto di vista scientifico, mi è piaciuta e quindi sono venuta in chiesa con mio marito e ancora veniamo in chiesa.
When I think about the future of this conversation in this congregation, I think of a community that really wants to listen to scientists, but also address science from the context of faith, to make this conversation a human conversation.
The biggest surprise along the way is that when we started this project, I assumed it would be an apologetic. And what I found was it built people's faith in the church tremendously. It wasn't just the scientists that loved this, but the non-scientists embraced it as a way of understanding their own Christian history and their scriptures better, and discovered that the heavens really do declare the glory of God. And that was a wonderful surprise.